Giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, wherever you may be, wherever you may be. To you I say Shalom and Shalom, Shalom. Alright, I want to get into this video here that I saw. Pretty much, these Americans are complaining. It's one solid video, but I broke it up into two, just to just to try to shorten it up, because the video is about 21 minutes long. So there's about 10, 11, 9, 11, whatever, split there, almost half and half, just to shorten the video up. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing else much to say. Get into this video about the people complaining, because everybody's seeing what's happening, on their big screens, mainly surrounding ICE, and you got talks to troops, and so people are to some degree fighting back, but they're not really. It's not like they're clashing yet. Okay, they're trying to make a stand, but what's happening is they're getting arrested, pepper sprayed. People are getting deleted, sent back to the spirit realm, things of that nature. All right, but yeah, people are complaining about the current, state of Babylon the Great. Okay, so we can just play the video and get into it.
Things are about to get considerably worse in America. This is the tipping point. We are walking our way.
Notice what it says here.
This is it, guys.
This is it. The government has turned on us, and we need to stand up. Well, wait a minute. One for one, y'all need to stand up, because we understand what the Heavenly Father tells us through the scriptures. All right, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. It says, wait ye upon me to the day that I rise up to the prey, which are these heathen nations. Okay, and two, the government has never been for you. Okay, we have all been under the illusion that we are free. Okay, especially us Israelites. All right. So when it says this is it, the government has turned on us. They were never for you, and we need to stand up. Yeah, you guys do need to stand up, maybe. Okay, but not us, those that believe in Yahweh B'Shem Shah. Okay, and a small question here: where was all this standing up? When the Israelites were going through what they went through, there was no standing up then. Okay, which segregation was a good thing, but just to make the point, when they were getting hosed down, dogs put on them, all kinds of stuff like that. All right, where was the standing up then? There was no standing up. You guys were sitting down chilling and telling us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And now all of a sudden, the things that are going on, because your beloved country and your beloved government is not suiting, your needs. It's not fitting what you deem as a standard for a country towards its people. Now you think everybody's supposed to stand up and fight together, but nobody ever did that for the Israelites. The scripture say what? Who shall bemoan thee? Okay, on the scripture say that, who shall bemoan thee? Nobody's going to ask how we were doing, or nobody asked how we were, and nobody's going to ask how we are. All right, they only want to stand up with Jake when it affects them. And I'm not saying Edomite in general, because this is an Edomite looking chick on the screen. In general, okay, everybody's willing to stand up, and we're all one people, and all lives matter when something affects them. But when it's only a certain demographic of people, it's none of that. But let's keep going.
This is the tipping point. We are walking our way right into a state versus federal.
Because then this is the main talk. A civil war. Okay, a civil war. I don't know what this says at the top. Let's be clear. Okay, let's be clear-eyed. It's kind of blurry there. Let's be clear-eyed about what's ahead. Yeah, civil war. Okay, and this is mainly, really what the prophets are warning, about. But even the regular everyday people, if they're paying attention, it's hard to see. I mean, it's hard not to see it. Okay, you have the ICE, all right, doing what they, like what did I say the other day? They've been given tasks, masks, guns, and immunity. Okay, and now their authority has been upped by being able to come into your home. So what's going to happen when they start to knock on doors and roll in there because they don't need a warrant? Then they have immunity. So, as time gets worse, you can see people being deleted in their homes, people being dragged out of their homes, some people being deleted right in their homes, women might be raped in their homes, daughters raped, okay, things that are happening because they're going to have the power to do so and no one can stop them. And so at some point, these people are going to rise up and fight back, and many people are going to be deleted, many people are going to be in prison, all right? But as we always say, it remains to see exactly what the Lord is going to do with every situation. That's the most important thing. What is the Lord going to do? Okay.
Conflict. We are at the start of the American Civil War.
This is what it's going to take. It's literally going to be a group of people using their First Amendment right.
With all of the political divide in this country.
As a matter of fact, let's go in there. Let me pull up a second because I got some other stuff I want to pull up, so I don't want to lose it. So let me pull up a second page so I can pull up another internet tab. All right, let's pull this up first. I should have it's all good. Amendment rights. Rights does better. All right, First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees several fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, all right, religion, the press. Now, they've always been cracking down on freedom of speech. They just do it, so most time quietly in the background. But they are trying to shut off, especially, because it's mainly the prophets, all right, the truth, coming out of the mouths of the prophets. So that's the main reason why they want to crack down on freedom of speech. But also you have regular people out here who are voicing their opinion against the this new world order agenda that they're trying to prop up. So they don't want that either. And then you have whistleblowers, and the scriptures speak about that. And their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. All right. So there's several reasons why they want to restrict freedom of speech. And the top one is the prophets. And then, you can kind of shuffle the rest. So it says religion, which they don't care about that. Getting the phone. They don't care about that. All right. They want the new religion to be you worshiping them as a god. Okay. The press, the assembly, and petitioning the government. All right. Which these protesters are really playing to the hands of what the government needs. All right, as we continue moving forward, more and more forward. Okay, but they just need to get them to the right level. Which, for all we know, they could do the same thing they try to do in Iran, allegedly, right? And because we know how Babylon operates, and get someone to incite these things. Okay. But yeah, petitioning the government. All right. Yeah, the here it is right here. I was about to mention the redress grievance. It says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peaceably to assemble. That's these protesters, right? And but if they do it peacefully, the thing is, these people are not. Where as the government sees it, they're no longer peacefully protesting because they're trying to impede the the ICE program. They're trying to stop ICE from doing this, stop ICE from doing that. They're following, they're recording, they're asking questions, which we're not on either side. But if you leave these people alone, because that's their job, they've been set up to do so. That's their job. They have their task. Okay, some of you people wouldn't get hurt. You wouldn't get jailed. You wouldn't get pepper sprayed or pepper balled or, possibly hurt or even deleted because you're trying to stop them from doing the job that they have been set up to do by the government. You see? But anyways, because that's in one, let me get that. Romans, 10? I think it's Romans 10, since I mentioned it. where am I going now? I'm going over to Apocrypha. Romans 10. So 10, maybe. Is it 9? It's one of these chapters around here. No, it can't be, definitely not 9. I'm thinking about what 9 is. Definitely not 9. Because I might be looking over it. I almost want to say it was 10. How much I might be looking over it. Or maybe it's not. I'm just thinking about it, something else. So let's just do this. I'm trying to think of how one of its sentences is worded. Oh yeah. Sword not in vain. It's probably another chapter. I don't know what I was thinking about Romans 10, unless it is in 10. You know, a little looking at it, but I think it's at the top of the chapter, so I might just be thinking about something else. Okay, here we go. Romans 13. Yep, there you go. Romans 13. Romans 13 and 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is the minister of the highest to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is the minister of the highest, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Now, once again, we're not taking sides on either side, but when you look at it from the side of the government and the side of ICE, all right, they're seeing that these people are doing, because what we talked about it the other day. Trump made a speech saying these people are stupid because they're refusing help, talking about ICE rounding up people in the city. So from their angle, these people are evil, and as Trump said, they're stupid, right? So he's a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. For this cause pay ye, well, you know, we don't have to go into all of that, but you get the point there, all right? So yeah. So this is what they're seeing. Each side is seeing what they're seeing from their angle, okay? And we don't have a side. We don't have a dog in this fight. You Israelites, that is. These rights are a cornerstone of American democracy, protecting individuals from government censorship and interference in their ability to express beliefs, challenge authority, and engage in public debate. It is important to note that these protections generally apply to government actions, not those of private entities like employers or social media companies. Oh, we didn't finish reading this. So it says, or the rights of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. All right. So these are all the things that these people are talking about here. So let's go back to the video. Back it up a couple seconds here.
We are at the start of the American Civil War.
This is what it's going to take. It's literally going to be a group of people using their First Amendment right.
With all of the political divide in this country, things are so polarized in terms of opinions, and with the intense situations that continue to happen practically on a daily basis. More and more people are really talking about the potential of civil war in this country. They're going online, they're voicing their opinions and their thoughts, and I find it really interesting that this is kind of trending right now, and I haven't seen this in a while.
See, this is kind of trending right now. Well, not everybody, because we can't say everybody, but there's a trend of people talking about standing up and fighting back against these government entities, and that is scriptural. It's part of prophecy. Okay.
Bro, I'm just done. I just want to know when we light the torches and get the pitchforks, because we just need to burn it down and start the.
And who do you think he's talking about lighting the torches and getting the pitchforks for? Okay, he's talking about going against the government, starting with ICE.
We just need to burn it down and start over. So you with me?
It's time to leave the country. 100%. It's time to leave.
And leaving this country doesn't matter. Okay. Scripture speak about the time of Jacob's trouble. So the thing about Jacob's trouble it's not a country thing. It's a worldwide thing, because Israelites are worldwide. And because Israelites are living amongst the heathen nations worldwide, well, the heathen nations are also going to get caught up in Jacob's trouble. And not really because of the Israelites, because they have their own judgments that are coming. Because the time of Jacob's trouble is a time period of judgment. Okay? This is part of the Lord visiting the earth that he made. See? So it doesn't matter what country, which we understand what people are talking about when they say leaving America. We get it. We definitely get it. We understand why they say this. Okay? But escaping America would not allow you to escape judgment of the Lord. You know, no matter if you leave out of America, you're going to run into your problems, whatever you're going to run into, and wherever you go. You may be able to live peaceably for a little while elsewhere, you know, cross seas or where, all right? But ultimately, they're all in on the plan of a new world order system, a digital system, microchips, and all these different things. So eventually, you're going to run into the same problems that you are claiming are happening to you right now in America.
That rhetoric on Greenland and everything else, and Gestapo in the streets.
Yeah, he says Gestapo in the streets. He's referring to ICE. Okay, which I'm gonna pull this up real quick for you. Let's have this on the side, because notice there's been a lot of people who are comparing ICE to the Gestapo. All right, so the term Gestapo originated in 1933 as an abbreviation for the German secret state police, Geheimstaatspolizei, Geheimstaatspolizei. All right, formed by Hermann Göring after he became Prussian Interior Minister. The name was shortened to Gestapo by a post office clerk for a franking stamp to avoid confusion with the Soviet GPU. Don't know if that's true or not, just reading what it says here. Meaning, the name translates to secret state police, Geheimstaatspolizei. All right. On April 26, 1933, Göring merged Prussian political and intelligence police units, which later became the official secret police of Nazi Germany, which people have also been starting to compare this current governmental system to Nazi Germany. Okay. Abbreviation origin. A postal office created the abbreviation Gestapo for a stamp, which quickly replaced the longer official title Geheimstaatspolizeiamt. All right. Just forgive my German. Geheimstaatspolizei, something, you know how they sound. I don't think there's anything else we need to look into, really. Let's see here. Oh yeah, let's read this. Hitler's ruling style was a totalitarian dictatorship based on Führerprinzip. All right, you know, they used to call him the Führer. All right, mein Führer. All right, talking about Hitler. It says leader, which means leader principle. All right, emphasizing his absolute authority, where his word became law, supported by extreme nationalism, racism, especially propaganda, and the suppression of all oppositions to establish complete control over German life. Now, somebody say, well, this is Trump. No, it's not. All right. Trump has not yet gotten to the point where his word is just law, because he's still, there's still certain levels of government where he'll run into hiccups yet. But they're slowly working at that. Not because Trump is special. Trump is simply the face that has been set up over this country as president. So, with the moves that are being made, you can see he's heading in that direction. But Trump's word is not quite law yet, but we see it heading towards that direction. Because it's really the bankers, right, who's got everything planned out. He's just the face of it, okay? Like you pick up a quarter. You don't have to look at the quarter to know it's a quarter. You know the size of a quarter. But on the front, there's always going to be a face. All right. On the back, there's always going to be some kind of symbol of their authority, of their empire, of their rulership. Okay. And that's what Trump is like. He's the face of the coin. Excuse me. All right. Totalitarianism. The Nazi state controlled every aspect. Oh, see, this is what we talk about when we talk about the sea hip. Okay. It gives them, meaning the bankers, all right, which we just broke down, you know, the other day. I think the second time we've done that, you know, just for new listeners, broke down. Well, not the other day. It was really more like the other week. Sometime recently though, broke down, you know, why I explain it that way. All right. But to give them, meaning the bankers, full autonomy over every aspect of your life from some remote location through their microchip, because they're not going to be taking it. It's for everybody else, including their own people. So it says Hitler's ruling style was a totalitarian dictatorship based on, oh, actually, I just read that. It says the Nazi state controlled every aspect of public and private life, because through the microchip, you would no longer have a public life except for ruled and governed by them, and you will no longer have a private life because it's going to be monitored, governed, and ruled by them. Them, once again, being these bankers. See? Using what? Fear, yep, intimidation, and propaganda to maintain power. That's what the troops are for. Okay? That's what the Insurrection Act, the martial law is going to really mostly be for. All right? When people are just, because people are getting deleted under this ICE situation here, but when it goes up to the level that they want it to be, where people are randomly getting deleted, whether it be in their homes, in the streets, in some facilities or whatever, and it's a random constant thing, and no one's able to go against it, because once again, these guys have been given immunity. They've been given a task, and they've been given immunity. Okay? So using fear, intimidation, and propaganda to maintain power. This is also what the microchip is about. The fear of you not being able to eat. You not being able to maintain yourself. You not being able to take care of your family. See? Restriction of money. Withholding of food. Those are weapons in a time of war. And then you have boots on the ground to continue to push that force. This leader principle placed Hitler's will above all laws, creating a pyramid of absolute obedience with him at the top. One party rule. What else is here? No racial purity, Aryan supremacy. Yeah, we all know about that. Propaganda. Joseph Goebbels, whatever. Propaganda ministry control information to shape public opinion and demonize enemies like Jews. Yeah, well, not those are not the real Jews that they're talking about here. Concentration camps were used to crush opposition, and look, concentration camps were used to crush opposition and enforce loyalty, and they got what? They're FEMA camps today. But let's go back to the video. What happened here? Okay, we're still taking. I don't know what the heck just happened there. Okay. Is that a page? Is this an invisible page now? Okay. All right, so here we go. Double check. Yeah.
Gestapo in the streets. It's time to leave. Because it's either going to be fighting in the streets, a world war, or just...
See, fighting in the streets is already happening. It's leading to a civil war. Okay, all the civil unrest leading to a civil war. Now, World War III, I don't know why he even mentioned World War III, because we're already in World War III. It's just not to that biblical, well, I guess you can't call it biblical level, but I mean, you know, to where we know for a fact that all these countries are fighting, you know, all in the Middle East, and, you know, all these different things that are according to the scriptures, all right? Because, you know, scriptures talk about how we're going to hear wars and rumors of wars and so on and so forth. So, you know, World War III is already underway. It's just not to the point of major battles just yet.
Straight up authoritarian regime, and everybody just doesn't care, or they're too apathetic to care. And I'm not like that. I'm getting my kids out of here, and I suggest you all do the same. Give your kids a better life. Get them out of this country.
See, that's the Edomite mindset. First, it was, you know, this is our country and make it great again. But now you realize that your government doesn't give two issues about you. Now it's, oh, get out of here, give your kids a better life. Hey, your kids' life is about to, you know, come to a screeching halt, because the Edomite supremacy is over. Now, they still have a position of power right now, because that's part of the Lord's prophecy until he, you know, he sends Yahushua back. But ultimately, all right, you guys have come to the end of your empire, the end of your reign, and we're watching you, you know, fall. Okay, it says he that what is it, he that hoping they shall all fell together, something like that, which hoping means to help. So everybody that's standing with you are going to fall, which even includes 2/3 of our own people. Okay, but this is the Edomite mindset. It's our country, you guys, because I'm pretty sure he's probably one of those secret races. All this, they cut me off there. All right, but yeah, like I was saying, pretty much these Edomites are at their end. And see, unlike with Israel, they always tell, pull yourself out by your bootstraps and all this kind of, terms that they throw at us. But when it comes to them in situations that really, mess with the human mind, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to deal with it, because their love is of their money. All right, the comfy life and the money and so on and so forth, and their snobby ways, because they're Edomites, so they look down on you, and they this country is giving them kind of that sort of authority to do so, because they get away with things and so on and so forth by just being Edomites. But now, when the tables have turned and they now have to sit in the same seats that we're sitting in, they don't know how to deal with it. They'll tell us to, but they don't know how to deal with it. Okay, because the Edomites are simple hypocrites. And it says children are our oppressors and women rule over them. But let's keep going.
I'm going to tell you guys what's coming, okay? Because I think we need to be very clear-eyed about what's coming, and it's very obvious. On the second day of this year, I posted a video, and I said that I very strongly feel like 2026 is giving resolution, but through a lot of struggle and strife and very negative stuff. But that it's necessary to get to where we need to be. Well, we're not even that many days into this year, and I'm already being proven right. Here's what's coming, folks. Okay? Be prepared. We are walking our way right into a state versus federal conflict with us citizens in the middle. And I guess divided on those lines.
And really, the citizens are being used, because she's somewhat right. Because you have some of these states that are with ICE and what the government is doing. Then you have states that are saying, no, we're not with ICE. We need to get ICE out of our state. And there's a push and pull with these National Guard troops. Okay, because if the state brings them in, that's the state against ICE, which will eventually probably be against other troops by way of the federal government if they step in on that level. But if the federal government brings troops in, then that state's got nothing. There's no way to push back against ICE except for with regular law enforcement. Okay, and regular law enforcement are getting harassed right now. So how far is that going to go? And I think it was yesterday or whenever it was, I was looking at a piece of news there, which I can't say is right. It makes sense though. But where Trump has ICE going into certain, I think it was about Maine. So that was probably like yesterday or this morning sometime. Anyways, but about Maine, and I think it was some chick or whoever it was talking about why Maine, and she was making the point of because Trump recently made the speech about how he's going to stop funding to these sanctuary states, because these sanctuary states are with the people that are being called immigrants, right? So, obviously the sanctuary states is what she was trying to make the point of what he's targeting, which I can't say that's right, but it makes a good point. But we don't really know why he's going to where he's going. But that's a good point though, to where these sanctuary states, because he did just make a statement about the sanctuary states not funding them and so on. So he's basically trying to make a statement there. Is basically what she was saying.
We're headed towards, and there will be clashes. We'll call them. Okay. And there are going to be American citizens who are not going to comply. You weirdos that always said you wouldn't let the government tread on you are very
happy. For all we know, this recent Renee Good and this guy Pretty, I don't know how you pronounce it. I haven't heard anyone say his name, so I don't really know how to. I've seen it, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Pretti, I forget his first name. For all we know, those could have been, individuals who were used to fuel the fire. Okay, because nowadays you don't know what's organic or what's, orchestrated. All right,
be apparently to let the government tread on you, so you're going to, I guess. But there are going to be people who will not allow that to happen to themselves or to their neighbors, and they will fight back. And apparently the state's National Guard of blue states are going to be there to protect their citizens.
Oh, see, we just mentioned that. See, blue state versus red state. All right, division. That's what we talk about all the time. Division. Those that have this, which now, ultimately, to make the point, there is no blue and red. Okay, they're really just two wings of the same bird with different goals to get to the same agenda. So it doesn't matter if there was a Democratic president right now, there'd be things going on to fuel and move forward the agenda. But they got the red in the office right now with the proper men in office right now. Okay, and it's still doing what? Moving forward the agenda of the elite. See? So this is all the division here.
This is what's coming. I just need you to prepare yourself for headlines and for video of this kind of thing, because it is going to be terrifying. I think we don't have any other choice at this point, though. This is I don't know what other way there is. So wrap your head around.
And this is the mindset of a lot of these Americans. We don't have any other choice at this point. So in other words, what they're saying is, we gotta stand up and do something. We gotta stand up and fight back. We gotta fight for our rights. All right. And this is why people are getting hemmed up. You know, and other situations are happening because they're playing into their hand. All right.
It now, make your peace with it now, make your plans, talk things out with your family that you live with. What do you do if they come to your door? What's the plan? You know, figure shit out, because I'm telling you that's what's coming. This is it, guys. This is the tipping point. I'm a Marine Corps vet.
Yeah, so see what she just said there made me thinking about, you know, like slavery time periods, man, where fathers would be taken away, mothers would be taken away, or children taken away from the parents and stuff like that. Okay, this is what you people are about to feel here in Babylon the Great, because Esau's greatest threat are the tribes. Okay, but what you people, especially you Edomites, you fail to understand. Your own government doesn't care about you. Well, it's not even. It's bigger than the government. It's the elite. Your elite don't care about you. You're going to witness at some point your fathers and mothers and children, you know, on the same way we witness that, you're going to witness it too. If you don't comply with the system. That's what it's all about. You complying with the system. And a lot of these people see all this great speech that they're coming on, you know, their TikToks or whatever their, you know, platform is. All this is going to go away when they're faced with the choice. All right. And I'm not talking about the matrix, red pill, blue pill. I'm talking about that microchip. All that talk is going to go away, you know, when they're not able to, because she's sitting in the car. She got all this talk, all, you know, looking fancy. You got nice glasses on, probably cost a lot of money. That's going to go away when they can't pay their bills and they can't feed themselves. And then they're going to do what? You're not going to be fighting in. You're going to be looking forward to going to take that chip. See, all this is just talk from these people. But it's beautiful because this is what we need. All right. We need these things to continue on. And, you know, because we're looking for the Lord's will to be done. That's it. His will is his way, and we will have it no other way.
And I'm going to tell you how to prepare for the impending civil and world war. And I know that sounds scary. And I'm not trying to fearmonger here, but please stay with me. Today, J.D. Vance went on record and publicly declared that ICE officer who shot Renee Good has absolute immunity before an investigation.
There you go. We just mentioned that.
Is even complete, and they have all of the facts. You know what else?
They be given masks, tasks, guns, and immunity. And now they be given the freedom to go into people basically you go into your home without a warrant. Okay?
That means he thinks he has immunity, and Trump has immunity. He just gave every member of ICE permission to unalive Americans.
Hold up. See, did we just talk about that? When we spoke about what's going to stop them when, you know, things keep amplifying from going in people's homes, deleting people in their homes, right? Because there's been talk about, you know, women who have been, you know, sexually abused in these, you know, in this ICE, you know, under their care. So hell, they can go into your home and do it now. Who's going to stop them? They can go into your home, do whatever. All right, beat up on you, interrogate you, intimidate you. This is what it's coming to. This is why we have the title that we made for it. This is America. I probably should say this is Babylon. Okay? But America tingles ears when you put America in there. All right? But this is Babylon right now. You see?
Keep that. Our vice president of the United States gave total immunity to ICE, to Americans. Don't get it twisted. This is state-sanctioned harm. The same shit that happened in 1930s and 1940s.
And as I said before, where were these people when, Judah was getting hosed down and dogs sicked on them? These people, man.
Germany. They are telling us that our lives come second to their authority. Here's the part that people might want to hear. If you are actually...
And man, I'm glad she said that. Our lives come second to their authority. Well, welcome to the program. Because the nation of Israel have always been seen that way by these people. Mainly by you Edomites, man. Because all the nations hate us.
Paying your taxes still? Well, you can stop now. Because for the last year, they have taken away our rights, our benefits.
Stop paying it. Listen to this lady you want to. Stop paying your taxes, and you're going to have a build up, and you might end up losing more money, okay? Because you're going to have to pay, they're going to try to make you pay it back. And everything's headed towards see, these people have all the solutions, but none of their solutions are biblical, which means none of them are going to work. Because if your solution is not Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, it's not going to work, man.
It's our opportunity in the United States, and now they've actually taken away our protection. And our government is co-signing government agencies hunting us down and saying that it is okay. Meanwhile, they want to send...
Don't we always bring that scripture out in the Lamentations 4, which I bring it out talking about the nation of Israel, because that's basically who it was about anyways. All right, let me just get it. I probably could have quoted it. I'll just get it though. Lamentations 4:17. All right, it says, as for us, our eyes yet fail for our vain hope. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. Now, of course, this is going back to the Babylonian time period, but we know, as the scripture tells us in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay, we can somewhat apply this to what's happening right now, because the gospel of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans being the true Israelites of the Bible, okay, is a resounding sound, okay, on the internet. All right, but you either ignore it or you don't believe, or whatever the case may be. They hunt our steps that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near, our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. See? Like I said, I usually bring that scripture out, talking about Israel, because, that's who the main target is anyways. But, they're opening up because they gotta move forward with their New World agenda. And what these Edomites and these other heathens are about to find out is, when it comes to that New World agenda, they're in the same lot as everybody else. You're not special, especially you Edomites. You're not special because you're Edomites. Okay, you don't really have an Edomite supremacy anymore. Edomite supremacy are these wicked elites and these people of power. But to you regular everyday people, you everyday Edomites, your reign of supremacy has been over. They're cutting you out the picture.
$100,000 to each citizen in Greenland, while most of us can't even freaking buy food. We are being destabilized internally while things are escalating with Russia, with China, with Venezuela.
And her concern sounds nice, but I'm pretty sure her refrigerator is not empty though. I bet you.
Europe and more. We have a target on our backs right now. And we're supposed to pretend like this is all normal? Hell no. This is how society slides into civil conflict with erosion, with fear, and with unchecked power.
And these regular, I'm talking about the actual Edomites now. These regular Edomites didn't have no target on their back until they started standing up talking about ISIS disrupting our city. If they would have just stayed in their houses and let ICE do whatever ICE do, they wouldn't even bother them. But these people out here come out there, you try to stop them from doing what they're doing, you protest and all these different things, ICE out now, and all this stuff like that. You people were fine until you started protesting against it. But what did we just say? You played into their hands, because they were coming out to the Northern Kingdom. mainly. They did a little bit with Southern Kingdom, but they were mainly coming out of the Northern Kingdom. But because it was happening in your city, you came out to protest them being in your city, because that's the Edomite bias, that's the Edomite supremacy, where they, they talk shit to the cops and all that kind of stuff like that. I'll have your ass, buddy, and all this kind of stuff like that. Always standing up to authority, something that we can't do without, falling into a bunch of trouble. Now, some of them, of course, get into trouble, to be fair, yeah. But a lot of them, they get away with it. The things that they can do, okay, we wouldn't be able to get away with that. That was the point. But, let's keep going.
And so this is what I'm going to leave you with. We didn't call World War I and World War II those names when they were happening. Okay? Let that sink in. Two, you need to stop paying your taxes, you need to keep cash on hand, and you need to have things that you can barter. Three.
What did I just say? All these solutions. Have cash, 3 to 6 months of dry canned food, and 6 months of drinking water. Have a generator with solar chargers. Learn how to. I think this says learn how to protest. I think this says learn how to protest. Anyways, have cash. Cash is going digital. Okay. 3 to 6 months of dry and canned food, and 6 months of drinking water. So what happens when ICE comes into your home with their authority to do so, and they just take you out of your home, away from all these canned foods and guns that you have? Take you to some FEMA camp or whatever, to some detention center or whatever. All right, executive orders that can stop everything, stop the airports, stop the train, the bus stations, take your car, raid your pantry. What are you going to do against things like that? See? But these are things that are set in place that the average American citizen, with all these answers, don't know that the government is able to do under their authority. Have a generator with solar chargers. Now, I have to research that. I'm not going to do it now, but I'm not sure if an EMP would affect generators and because a solar, because they got the solar things on the roof, that is, a form of electricity, I guess, or electrical something. All right, something. So I'm pretty sure EMP would probably affect that too, as well as a generator. I mean, a generator is a machine, just like a car is a machine, but I can't say that for sure. I'm just, taking a guess here in my brain. But you see what it says here.
I hate to say it, but you need to be prepared in your homes, and you need to know how to protect yourself. So take that for what it's worth.
Oh, maybe it says learn how to protect. Okay. So she's basically telling you to, be ready to be up in arms to fight back. Okay.
I know that this feels heavy. It is. But if we have learned anything from history, it is that power without accountability always turns on the people. And it is time that we stand up. What I'm about to say is
and that was the whole point of the checks and balances system. Okay. One checks the other. And that's why I mentioned, when I was reading the stuff about the totalitarian, all that stuff. And this is what they're trying to, move Trump into the position of, because he's not in power. He doesn't control anything. But they're slowly trying to move him into that position where his word is law. He's just the face. He's the president. Okay. So right now he's still able to be checked on certain levels because he has to go through, Congress and all those different things of that nature. All right. To some degree. But, yeah, he's trying all kinds of, executive orders and things of that nature. It's coming to the point where, the elites are going to take full control through what we read there. All right. Fear and intimidation and all these different things. Okay.
It's going to sound crazy. It is going to make.
They gotta crash this current society, mainly, especially here in Babylon, so they can bring forth the new one that they've planned for all these ages.
Me a radical, and that's fine with me. I don't give a shit anymore. We are at the start of the American Civil War. I said it yesterday. I'm going to say it again. We're not voting our way out of this. If we make it to the midterm elections, that shit is not going to count. Your vote is not going to matter because
now you understand that. Now you understand that. You can't vote your way out because your vote never mattered. Midterms don't matter, man. That's all world stage. See? That's to give you American people a show to make you feel like that you have a say-so in your country.
Already told us the 2024 election was manipulated. That vote was rigged. Okay? Elon Musk said it. Donald Trump said it. voting is not going to matter anymore, okay? These content creators that are lying to you and telling you just vote in the midterms, just vote in the midterms, stop listening to them. All they're doing is giving you anxiety and stressing you out and leading you down the naive path. All right? What you're going to do instead, right now, is go buy 4.
So who's... See, she's also leading you down the naive path. She's telling you to now go strap up and get ready for the Civil War so you can get deleted by the government.
Go buy 10. I don't give a learn how to some shit in your backyard. If it is safe to do so, go to the gun range, go get training. I'm sure there are liberal and democratic whatever influencers or people around you that will train you on how to use a firearm. Okay?
See, that's what it's coming to. The Civil War. All right, where these people are starting to lose it, and they see the only, and that's a real true Edomite mindset too. Okay, I'm not saying it's only Esau, but that's definitely a true Edomite mindset. All right, to just spaz out, the ultimate YN. Okay, the young Edomite, right? The young Idumean, the YI.
It's literally going to be a group of people using their First Amendment right, pushing back at an army. A firecracker, a rogue person, a trigger-happy agent is ultimately going to set off the storm. And you need to be prepared.
And when he says the storm, he's talking about the Civil War.
Again, food, water, ways to cook things, non-perishable items, ways to defend yourself.
And it's beautiful how, a lot of these people are talking about storing up food and water, this and that and the third thing. Those things will be for the elect, man. Okay, because the Lord's going to deal with his elect in this crazy time period that we are now in, that's going to progressively get worse. All this storing up, all these doomsday preppers, these things will be for the remnant that the Lord is going to deal with in these times. Well, he's going to send, somewhere, and there's going to be food there. And you may have to keep moving, but for that moment, you might get to stay at that in a particular place for a day or two, a night or two, or whatever. Or it could just be an immediate, well, actually, I'm not even going to, I was about to mention something. But yeah, where you're just going to have to take your food and keep going. I'll just say that, all right? But all this storing up, okay, as we mentioned before, there's things, that the government can put in play that they can just raid your pantries and stuff like that. But I guess that's what they have firearms for. No, not what they have firearms for. They have firearms for because of what's happening, but most of these people don't know that the law enforcement can come in and do that. And so imagine, they're having a firearm, and then they come. So what do you think is going to happen? It's probably going to be a shootout. Somebody's going to get deleted. You see? And then what? And then all this storing up has been for the remnant.
If you're not into pew-pews, maybe get some of that sweet spray that they like to blast at everybody. It's available online. It's just. I do want to point out that this is a situation that could stop everything. Gas station, grocery stores, everything you need to get through daily life. You might have a bunch of people that are unwilling to go to work or afraid to go to work. And you're going to have a lot of people that are not going to go to work because they're not going to take this shit anymore. The upside to that...
They already did that recently. Now, granted, it was a single day behind the second, after the second, thing that just happened there in Minnesota. So, no, actually, no, it was behind the Renee Good. Really, it was behind the when the news that came out about using a 5-year-old against his father and knocking on the door and all that kind of stuff. So it was behind that, but they also threw in the Renee Good thing. So they kept their children from going to school. They themselves didn't go to work. Also, they can go out and protest against, guess thinking that will work or whatever. So they chose to protest instead of going to work and sending their children to school. So now, granted, that was an isolated event, but they did it. They did it.
Is that same infrastructure that we rely on?
And this video is probably older than that anyways, what just happened.
this little army also relies on. Air traffic controllers, rental car companies, all of these things that they need to exist, they also use. They're not just crippling us, we're crippling them. Just be prepared. I'm telling you, this is a Boston MAS situation where it's going to take one event. And that we've already been pushed to the brink, but this is going to end up as a mass pew-pewing that takes out a lot of innocent people's lives because these people won't stand down.
So basically what he's speaking about is, these types of situations that's been happening, going statewide, in other words, all right, which is something, to me, we've been talking about, all right, with things like this happening all over different states. Now that's a definite reason to bring in the whole Insurrection Act, all right, and bring troops everywhere. If situations, because it don't have to happen, obviously not in every single state, but if it happens in enough states all at one time, that's reason enough there.
And they think they can.
And these protesters, once again, are helping that to be done.
Control everything, and that's fine. That's apparent that that's where this administration is at, and people need to prepare accordingly. I'm just going to keep repeating this every few days until people realize how dire the situation could be. I mean, this could be a point where cell phone towers are shut down, electrical grids are shut down to try to stop any continued dissidence from people, like people just pushing back. You just have to understand where we are. We've seen this play out in other countries. We're watching it play out in a different one right now. That somehow now we support the people that you guys were talking shit about, how they couldn't, get into our society and learn our ways. The Muslims. Yeah. It's the irony's not lost on me, but people need to be prepared.
And that was the end of that, the first half of that clip there. There's a second half to it. But I'm gonna end this session here. After we get a couple of scriptures, we're gonna end it. Oh, I forgot. I'm gonna have to go over here and get. Second Ezra. Just pull that back up on the screen. You probably know what we're going to, anyways. Second Ezra 15. All right, 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." And that's what a lot of those people in the video were talking about. You guys need to be prepared. You need to be prepared. Go get your pew-pews. Go get 5, get 10 of them. All right, be prepared. All right, we're going to have to stand up and fight, guys. All right. Telling you to, which is that one chick at the end there, saying that these influencers or whatever, the influencers are leading you down naive path, and they are. But then she turns it around and tells you to go and get a gun. Okay, so I guess she's leading people down the prophetic path, because this is prophecy, though. All right, this is prophecy that's to happen in Babylon the Great, really all over the world, but mainly Babylon the Great. Babylon the Great. Okay, and we see these things slowly unfolding and playing themselves out. All right. For the sword and the destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's the division that we keep talking about over and over and over. The division. Right now, the main division, okay, is between these protesters and the ICE agents. But you see it starting to open up between, as actually one person mentioned that, between the state and the federal government. This is what they were trying to desensitize you to in the Civil War movie. All right, you had this western states and the eastern states, and you had the troops that were defending the White House and the troops that were trying to storm the White House. Okay, because you got states that want to invoke their National Guards, and then you got states that are getting the National Guard invoked on them. So you had the QRF, right? We didn't forget about the QRF, the Quick Response Forces. 500 troops on standby in every state. You don't think they're just sitting around for nothing, do you? Timing. All right, timing. Because they're set forth to quell what? Protest. The thing is, only one side is being deleted right now, the side of the protesters. Cause if it goes to that level, once people start to delete, the ICE agents, okay, guaranteed the QRF is coming. And it may lead to the Insurrection Act and the troops and martial law. It's just one thing that the Lord can do can spiral this particular prophecy far ahead, right? This time period of Jacob's trouble. But let's keep going. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Because these people are telling you to prepare, get water, food, drink, this and that, have a generator. They're preparing you for a civil war, just like a country will prepare for a war against another country, or an empire against another empire, a kingdom against, castle against another castle. Okay? Because food is also a weapon. That's why people will be starved out. If you don't have the food to fight, your troops are weak. So your troops are going to have to do what? Take the people's food, because the people aren't fighting. They're defending the kingdom and the people. So the people will have to be starved out a little bit in order for the troops to have nourishment, so they can have energy to fight. Because if they can't, and if they don't, they can only go out to battle and lose, give up, or starve to death, in which then the people have no protection. For there shall be sedition among men. This is what these people have basically been doing in this video. Preparing sedition. This is all sedition. Every one of those videos were sedition, because they're all telling you to go buy some pew-pews. All right, buy some food, stand up and fight. We got to do something. Okay, voting is not going to work. We got to do this. That's all sedition. Sedition among men. And I haven't mentioned it in a while, but the Batman movie with Bane. Do we accept this man's recognition? Yeah, that's what Bane was doing. Sedition. He was riling up the people to go and fight. And what happened? It was a civil war. You see? And invading one another, they should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. See? And this is what these people have the idea of. You see, and this was a handful of people, but there's a lot of people across the board who's got the same idea, that we got to stand up and fight back. We got to do something. We need to get prepared to fight, because we're going to a civil war. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for the same reasons. All this division. What side are you on? What kind of American are you? So we're moving. Remember that scene there? What kind of American are you? Okay. Talking about where you from? Where you from? Oh, you're from a blue state. You're from a red state. Or you with the troops? Or you're not with the troops? Or you this? Or you that? Or you believe in this? Or you so on and so forth. All the division. And that there it is right there. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And ultimately, a part of that, the houses, all this stuff like that is going to come from the people. But the main force that can do these things are going to be these troops, man. They're going to be the ones that really, birds all over. They're going to be the ones who really get it in, okay? Because they're going to be the ones sent to quell, all right, all this, whatever else is going on, all right? So there's going to be fighting against fighting. This bird must be really hungry. Usually birds fly away. Or maybe he didn't notice me. It was right there in my window. All right, anyways, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. All right, the same food they're telling you to store up, right? And for what? Great tribulation. And this is the time of that great tribulation, Jacob's trouble. See? Jacob's trouble. And the Lord tells us in Acts 14:22, through much tribulation must we enter into the kingdom. Speaking about, to you Israelites who are hopeful elect. Through much tribulation must we enter into the kingdom. All right? Should you be of that number, Lord willing, you're the same ones mentioned in Revelation chapter 7, verse 9. Those that have all kindreds, people, nations and tongues. Israelites that are scattered, that were gathered. That was the multitude from the tribulation. But in order to get to that deliverance point, we got to go through this time period of tribulation. All right? But, hey, as the title says, this is America. This is where we're at. Okay? And so, we're watching. Scripture tells us to watch as well as pray. We're watching these things. We're watching what the Lord is doing. Because these are the Lord's This is the fruition of the Lord's words. The prophecies coming into fruition. Slowly but surely, we're seeing these things unfold. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Lord willing, you will edify. To next thing I'm going to say, Shalom.